welcome to episode 7 of Unpopular Opinion. I'm your host, Mika Gat, joined by the original crew. We finally just got the original guys today, Mr. Kyle Pucci.
Move on with it.
On my left, and we got Ayush on the right. Kyle, you gotta let me stretch that out a little bit. It was funny.
Yeah.
You gotta let me stretch that out a little bit. All right, before we start the show, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Kyle Pucci from the show last week, because he made a little bit of a Patriots prediction. He talked about the Patriots a little bit, and he was completely right. But we'll get back into that a little bit today. We're gonna only football. We're going back to the original style. 3 questions, possibly 4 if we have extra time. Let's get it on. All right, first question. Super Bowl 55 in Tampa Bay. Who y'all got? You should go first this time.
From the AFC, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Steelers are looking good right now, but in the playoffs, I don't think there's just any defense that's going to be able to stop Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Watkins, and now Clyde Edwards-Helaire looks good. And if Le'Veon Bell can get back to his Steelers form, that offense is going to be unstoppable. And from the NFC, I have the Seahawks, just because of Russell Wilson, the way he's playing. Because Russell Wilson right now, it looks unstoppable, and if he keeps playing like this, they could easily make it to the Super Bowl.
Kyle? Tell you she's wrong.
All right, Ayush, you're wrong. So I have Steelers versus Tampa Brady Buccaneers.
I think that's wrong. But
No, yeah, it's not wrong. I'm usually right about that. I was on the Bucs first, but anyway, Steelers, they finally have like a defense. You know, other years they've contended like the past 5-6 years. You know, they never really had a defense. They only had Big Ben, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Now they have 2 sides of the ball. That defense was always the missing piece for them. Like, they're undefeated for a reason. Like, they're good. I think this is the year they finally put it together. There's no more drama kings like Bell and Brown on their team as well. And Tampa Brady will make the Super Bowl simply because, I mean, I love Brady. You guys know that. But, like, I just trust him more than anybody in the playoffs. And, you know, speaking of your Chiefs, wide receivers, you know the Buccaneers have Godwin, Mike Evans. They have this guy named Gronkowski. And now they just signed this guy named Antonio Brown, too. You know, they look unstoppable. And they have a better run game than the Chiefs. They are loaded. They're going to make it. They're going to win it all.
I mean, there's no way Tampa makes it to if they lose this week, they're not even winning the division. Is Michael Thomas playing this week?
50-50.
If Michael Thomas plays, there's a good chance they lose this week, and then they're 0-2 against the Saints.
They're not going to lose this weekend.
All right,
Very real possible.
All right, it's time for my prediction. All right, so I want to see what Kyle thinks about this one. This would be fun. All right, so
here we go.
In the AFC, I agree with Ayush. I think that only because Pittsburgh's 7-0, but the Chiefs play best when they're under adversity. In case you guys didn't see that last year in the playoffs, they were losing every single one of their games, and they won
2.
Texans, Titans, and the Niners.
Oh, congratulations. You beat the Texans and the Titans. The 2 teams that should not have been there.
San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, with choking Jimmy Garoppolo. He sucks.
Well, Kyle, I haven't finished. And I have them going to play the winners of the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints.
Why do you like? Oh my God,
So-
Saints Bobo.
No, I'm not. Saints are a better team than the Buccaneers.
They are not a better team than them.
NFC
No,
South.
they're not.
Yes, they
Mike
are.
Evans hasn't caught a pass in Marshawn Lattimore
He's
in
been
2
on
years.
one leg the entire time
And
this
Chris,
season.
what is Chris Godwin going to do? He literally is injured every
Yeah,
single
Chris
week.
Godwin was only a first-team All-Pro last year.
Okay,
Did you forget
okay.
that?
He's also injured. He's played like 4 games this year.
Okay. How many games has Michael Thomas played?
0, but if he
Oh
comes
wow,
back, this
0
year-
games. So where's that part against yourself
Michael
then?
Thomas is better than any receiver on the Buccaneers.
Is he better than Antonio Brown?
Yeah, yes.
Oh no,
yes,
he's
he
not.
is.
Oh
right
my
now,
God.
right now,
Stop.
any day.
Are you kidding me?
Antonio Brown
What if-
now?
What if Antonio Brown is what he was when he used to be?
That's such a big what if. He's
That's
not
not a
no,
big
no.
what if. He's been working out every single. He's
How
always
did
been
he
the
play on
same.
the Raiders? How did he play on the Patriots? How did he do after he left Pittsburgh? He was
He
garbage.
didn't play a game for the Raiders, and when
How
he
did
was
he play
on
on
the
the
Patriots, he caught 2 touchdowns.
He only
in
had
one
one.
game.
He had one.
1 touchdown, and he literally was he
My
had
bad.
such an
He
easy matchup.
got 4 targets. He had 4 catches, and one of them was a touchdown. Oh, I'm sure that's
and then
bad.
the game
correct?
after he was benched. How do you think
He wasn't benched. He didn't play because he was suspended.
Exactly.
Why was he suspended? Because he was stupid and had to text the girl that the case was going away.
Actually,
saying,
no, that
quiet.
wasn't the reason why he was suspended. That was the reason he was cut.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's stupid. He's going to make another mistake. He's not a team first player.
He's not gonna make another mistake.
If
No,
Bill
he's not.
Belichick
We literally talked about this last week. This is Antonio Brown's last chance.
I mean, I know,
Like,
but if Antonio Brown couldn't do anything with Bill Belichick, I have no faith with him right
he
now.
played one game and did super well. Like, how do you say that he didn't do well in that
Everybody
game?
in Pittsburgh has gone out and said, former players of him has said that he has been the most toxic person in that locker room when they played with him.
Okay, that was with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He has not played a single season where he did not piss everybody off that was near him.
That was only in his last 2 years in Pittsburgh.
How? That was every year he's been playing
No, it
football.
wasn't.
Well, we're going to figure out what happened.
You're
at
just
this
flat
game.
out wrong about that. That's just not true.
The Saints are a better team.
Oh, shut up.
First of all, let's go by quarterback. Who would you rather have right now?
Brady. It's not even close. It's Tom Brady.
He's playing better.
Come on, you know it's
Okay, he's
Brady.
playing better. How about running backs?
Okay, Kamara is obviously.
Kamara's the best running back in
Okay,
football
but it's
right
not.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
He's
He
the
is.
best running
I'll
back
give
in
you
football
that.
right now.
Who has the better receivers?
Saints.
Oh my God, that is crazy. That is
No.
crazy.
Emmanuel Sanders,
So-
Michael Thomas,
Mika.
yes.
Who else do they have? Who else?
Traquan Smith.
Oh my God!
now
Exactly.
you're just
Traquan
saying
Smith.
stuff.
No, I'm not, because you guys are
You know the Buccaneers have the better.
saying big names. All you're saying are big name people.
You
Yeah,
know
there's a
that the
reason they're
Bucs have
big
better
names, though.
receivers.
I need to see them beat the Saints first before I start
No, I
calling
agree
them on the
with you
hype.
on that. If the Bucks beat the Saints this week, then they have a shot. But
Yeah, then they have a shot.
if they lose this week, they're not winning the
Done.
division.
If they lose the shot, they are done.
Yeah,
They're
you're
not-
probably right about the
Okay.
division part.
Okay.
They're still gonna be okay. The Saints win the division every year. They don't make the Super Bowl. You
I
want
think
to talk
they- I
about
think they do this
chokers?
year.
There's you go. The Saints.
They can't choke every year. Drew Brees, he's 41. He wants
Exactly.
To
There's
win,
my
he wants to win
case
the
of
Super Bowl.
Pittsburgh making the Super Bowl. They can't choke every year.
All right. Well, those were our Super Bowl picks. A little heated.
That's ridiculous. How do you say the Saints receivers are better than Tampa Bay's?
I just think that the Tampa, especially Antonio Brown, he's the most overrated receiver in football.
Oh my God.
I could even say Case.
What do they call Michael Thomas? Slant boy, Mr. 5 yards down the
Okay,
field.
no. See, that's the stupidest thing. If no one can guard this land, why wouldn't you run it? Like,
That's
it's
a
an
fair
easy
point.
route.
You
if
guard
you don't-
Antonio Brown on any route he runs.
Yeah, but it's just disrespectful to
Yeah,
call him slam
unless
boy.
you piss him off, then you can just get him off the field.
Oh my God, you got to do so. I don't know if you're smoking anything today,
I'm not
but
smoking
that's
anything.
just no.
Everybody
that's
hates
ridiculous.
Antonio Brown. I could even make the point that the Chiefs have better receivers.
Just because
than
you
the
hate
Buccaneers.
Antonio Brown, that doesn't mean he's not
I
great.
can make a
hate
point.
LeBron James. He's great.
I can make a point that the Kansas City Chiefs have better receivers.
No, but
than them
no.
too.
You can do that, but we're talking about Saints versus Bucks
Fine,
receivers, and there's
fine.
no way the Saints have better receivers.
Thank you, Ayush. Thank you.
Antonio Brown hasn't played a game of football in over a year. Can he please?
Antonio Brown, they still have better receivers.
That's tough.
Scotty Miller's actually good.
You watch.
Okay,
Someday it's gonna.
that's-
I'm gonna be
that's
right
fair.
again.
Okay, Kyle. Okay, if you're so confident, then maybe you'll be right. Maybe. All right, let's move on to the next topic because I feel like we're already boiling over here. Let's talk about midseason predictions. So right now, I want to hear what you guys think because it's about to be week 9. Yesterday, my Green Bay Packers won. I mean, they played a garbage San Francisco team. I'm not looking for applause, but they won, and it's week 9. It's already past middle of the season, so I want to hear Rookie of the Year, offensive and defensive, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach, Most Improved, and MVP. Kyle, you're up.
Jesus Christ. So I didn't know the other ones. So
Well, it's a pop show.
what should I start with first? MVP?
You go ahead.
MVP is Russell Wilson. I mean, Seahawks have one of the worst defenses in the league. He has 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Like, that team is 6-1 right now with a top 3 worst defense. Like, that just shows you how good Wilson is playing. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. I mean, I think he should get it again. He already has one, right?
Yes, two.
I think he should get his third. That guy is virtually unblockable. I mean, he gets double teamed on every play. He still almost leads the league. And if he played one-on-one on every possession, he would. You know how many sacks that guy would have? He's virtually almost unstoppable. Then, Offensive Player of the Year, Russell Wilson for all my above points.
Okay.
Comeback Player of the Year. I think there's one obvious answer here. Ben Roethlisberger is my comeback player of the year. Obviously, he missed the entire year last year. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Their team's undefeated. I know they have a good defense, too, but he's got to do his part and hold up. Cam Newton sucks. I mean, he was my one comeback player of the year in, second week of the season. But, yeah, that didn't age too well. And
we got coach and we got rookies.
Coach of the year? Oh, man, that's tough. I don't know about Coach of the Year. I mean, I may go Mike Tomlin, but
He's right now favored to win, by the way.
is he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think Mike Tomlin is.
I mean, his
great.
team's undefeated. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, people think he sucks. I don't think he sucks.
No, he's
People
not.
think he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I mean, he's won every year. You win every year for a reason. I mean, what was the last one?
Offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, well, defensive rookie of the year, Anton Winfield Jr.
You called it here on the
Yep,
show, Kyle.
I did call it here on the show, exactly, which is why I'm going to be right again by the Saints. That's a different discussion, but Anton Winfield Jr. has been their answer in the secondary all year. All people did about Tampa Bay was question how good their secondary would be. He's been their answer. He's been great, and I think he has rookie of the year written all over him.
Okay, and offensive rookie of the year.
Oh, offensive rookie of the year, Joe Burrow.
All right, pass, Kyle. I mean, I usually you're up.
For my
Easy
MVP, I
answer.
also have Russell Wilson just because, I mean, Chris Carson has been injured for a couple of weeks. Their running game, the DJ.
Oh, I forgot about that. Good
DJ
point.
Dallas has been their starting running back, and he hasn't even, no one heard of him before he started for the Seahawks.
Carlos Hyde was up there.
Yeah, but he's like a fossil at this point.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
he's not very good
And then
anymore.
That's
team
not
without
what's
like he may not be the best quarterback in the league, but most valuable he definitely is. Because that team is nothing without him. I mean,
I think he's
he
the
makes-
best quarterback in football.
He makes Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf look like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then-
He is. You're right.
For my offensive player of the year, I have Mahomes. Right now, he's on pace to have the best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history, and it's not even close. It's 21-1 for his touchdown interception ratio right now. He's also second in yards and touchdowns, and I mean, he probably runs one of the best offenses in the league, and I think he'll win offensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
For my defensive player of the year and comeback player of the year, I have Myles Garrett.
And comeback player.
Yes, because he was suspended for most of the season after hitting Mason Rudolph with the.
Yeah, that's good point.
He's tied for first in sacks. He has the most sack yards lost, and he leads the league in forced fumbles and fumble recoveries.
Ooh.
For my offensive rookie of the year, I got Justin Herbert. I think that he's better than Burrow. I mean, he's playing better than Burrow, in my opinion. I think he's also played better teams than Joe Burrow and played better against them.
Well, I think Burrow has a higher degree of difficulty. That's just me.
Plays in the
but
AFC North, so it makes sense.
he does. Yeah, he plays the AFC North. He's had a lot of he has a lot of 300-yard games with a good amount of touchdowns. He doesn't have I don't think he has a Keenan Allen on his team or.
The only problem I have with both quarterbacks is neither of them can hold on to a lead. That's
Well,
the thing.
I mean, Joe Burrow destroyed.
Yeah, but they're
the
both
Tennessee
not on great teams though. I think those two quarterbacks are the only reason they're in every game. So I'm good with that. Keep going.
Defensive rookie of the year, I'm sticking with Chase Young. He's tied for fourth in tackles for loss.
Wrong
He
answer.
still has 3 sacks, forced fumble. I mean, he's been injured for 3 weeks, so his stats obviously aren't going to be as good as they will be.
How
at the end of the
is
year.
he going to win defensive rookie of the year if he's been injured?
It's usually a D lineman.
Yeah, well, he's played how many games? 2?
I think Marshawn Lattimore was the last secondary player to get it, I think.
And then
He
for
was.
coach of the year, I have Mike Tomlin because they've completely changed their offense. Big Ben used to throw the ball downfield so much,
Mhm.
and now it's just Claypool two times a game. And they changed their offense to run after catch. Like
Back to agree with what you said about Mike Tomlin. You know how many people just constantly said that it's because he had Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown why his offense was good?
I agree with
He's
that,
completely
yeah.
changed that narrative. He doesn't have those guys anymore. They're still playing really well offensively.
Yeah, it's true.
that team used to rely way too much on talent. Now Mike Tomlin's finally coaching.
They grow
Yeah.
talent there. Pittsburgh is a talent factory.
They're probably the best.
They're so
at
good at drafting receivers.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
how they
good.
do it. I really don't.
All right, let me throw in my picks. So let's go defensive rookie of the year. I agree with Kyle. I heard it on the show. I think it's Antoine Winfield Jr. I don't think it's Chase Young. She's been injured too much. Offensive rookie of the year, I think it is Tua. I'm just kidding. It's Justin Herbert. Only because he went step by step against Brady when he literally just gets these massive leads against the Saints, the Buccaneers, even the Broncos. They're
But that's like the one thing you can hold against him. He keeps making these plays that puts the other team back in the game.
yeah, that's
Like
true.
against the Chiefs, he had a bad pick, and then against the Bucks, he had a fumble at the end of the half. Like,
But he has so much potential in the future.
Yeah, he just
he
needs
has
more
more potential than
experience.
Joe Burrow. Look at his Joe Burrow went from smiling last
I don't
year to
agree with that.
Okay, well, Kyle, this is a debatable show. Coach of the year, I think this is the first time that all three of us can agree on something. It's Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
He deserves it, hands down. I'm saving MVP for last because I can't wait for it. Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. Anybody want to disagree with that?
Nope, because I made that case.
And offensive player of the year is Pat Mahomes because he's the best player in football right now.
Oh, he's not the best player.
He's the best player in football right now. Kyle,
No, he's not.
then how come Russell Wilson isn't getting paid the same Pat Mahomes is?
Are you seriously gonna get me started on that?
I'm not going to talk about. I'm not
Okay,
talking about.
okay, hold
salaries.
up. Even though Cam Newton sucks,
Yeah. He gets
so
paid.
Jeff Driscoll gets more money than Cam Newton. Who's the
I
better
brought up
quarterback?
that point. I brought up that point a couple weeks
Who's
ago.
the better quarterback?
It's Cam Newton.
Thank you.
Okay, but I'm not.
So you just disqualified yourself.
Okay, Kyle, I'm just saying Pat Mahomes has been playing better
your
in terms of.
MVP.
Fine, but I'm saying Pat Mahomes has just been playing better than Russell Wilson.
Oh my no.
Okay, well, I need to stand up for my MVP point. Kyle, let's take a little memory. You know, who's one of your favorite players all time? I'll look in that camera.
Who's one of my favorite players? JJ Watt. Yeah, of course. Love JJ Watt.
Right, you love JJ Watt. This is Kyle's jersey. Loves it. So, remember what happened in 2014?
I do.
What happened?
What happened? He got snubbed of an MVP.
Yeah. Should have won MVP.
Yep, I know.
So a defensive player is going to win it this year. Aaron Donald is going to win the MVP award.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm right here sitting here
It's
telling
always
you
a
that.
quarterback. It's like
I don't care.
I
I
don't
think
even need to
Aaron.
argue with that point and show how stupid it is.
No, I think the second half of the year. You should look at the teams that Aaron Donald is playing. You should see the teams that he's playing. The offensive lines he's going against. He's just gonna get better than he is now.
I agree that Aaron Donald probably should have had an MVP at some point in his career, but they just don't give it to defensive players.
Kyle, but I think that if guys, this is a debatable show. I gotta think that I think Aaron Donald can easily be a top 3, if not top 2 in MVP voting this year.
He's not.
Can you
That's
agree
the
with that
thing.
point?
You say so.
I think he is.
I mean, they just don't care about the defensive play. They only care about the quarterbacks.
Okay, well that's currently.
I don't
yes.
agree with it. I hate the way they do it.
Yeah,
but
I know.
that's-
Well, clearly.
Yeah, because we all know Rodgers shouldn't have won that MVP in 2014. Ayush agrees with
Yeah,
me.
I mean that season by JJ Watt is insane. Was insane. Like
Yep.
you're never gonna see another season like that from a D end.
Nope.
Not from a D. I mean, except for.
No, yeah, from any defensive player. Like the stats, like just to do that, that's historic.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. Those were really good numbers. All right, but I mean, maybe Lawrence Taylor back in the '80s. Maybe. All right. So third point. So we're gonna talk about the most surprising and the most disappointing team in the 2020 NFL season. Ayush, go
For
ahead.
me, my most disappointing team is the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that team is loaded with talent everywhere.
They are.
And then their only win, even before Dak got injured, their only win was that miracle comeback against Atlanta where they forgot how to recover an onside kick.
Yep. They still sucked even with Dak
And
Prescott. You're right.
the most disappointing thing about that team is they have problems with the coaching staff. They go to a reporter, say it's an anonymous source, and then they go complain.
Oh,
It's such
yeah.
like, you're professional athletes. That just sucks that you can't even go and talk to your coach about
Oh,
problems.
they're all enormous tool
and it's not
bags
Mike
on the
McCarthy's fault that
Cowboys.
Zeke's fumbling the ball once a game. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
That
starting
team-
Ben DiNucci at quarterback.
no, but even with Dak, like that team just. I mean, just also Mike McCarthy's fault for running a system that would be good in the '90s, but doesn't go with offense.
Okay, but at some point they're gonna have to stop blaming the coach like they did to Jason Garrett and accept accountability, which
players
is
are-
something they don't
No,
know how to do.
Not in
the
Dallas.
players just look like
Not
they're
in
going through the
Dallas.
motions. They're not putting their full effort. You can clearly see and they're like.
I know, just
like,
watch the games. They don't care. Like,
I mean, they're probably projected to go 11-5, 12-4, and win the division. But even with Dak, they were what 1-4.
a lot of people thought they'd be a Super Bowl team this year.
My most surprising team is Chicago because I mean they're projected to go 6-10, 7-9.
Eat it, Mika.
I mean, right now
say
they're-
it again.
Right now they're 5-3, which is pretty impressive. I mean,
Are you sure want to bring up the teams that he played?
I mean, no, they've lost Tariq
All right,
Cohen.
they
and
played.
Kim Hicks.
No. Okay, we're gonna go on a Bears rant because I love the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about that Falcons game. So Mitch Trubisky, who was the future of the Chicago Bears, played like garbage, got benched. I think it was the third game of the
Oh,
season.
you know we all thought he sucked.
Okay,
Nobody
all
thinks
right.
Trubisky's good.
I mean, people in Chicago wanted him to be good because they drafted him over Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
Well,
and
why
I
would
hope
they
you're
want him to
watching
be
Mitch
good?
Trubisky. What?
No, the Bucks are good. They beat the. The
They beat
Bears
the
are good.
Buccaneers because Tom Brady forgot how to count to 4.
It's still a win.
it's still a win.
On
And
a
also-
short week on Thursday Night Football in Chicago
He made
for
an
a
excuse. It's
43-year-old.
a win's a win. Okay, they're
okay.
5-3. They lost Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman for the year, which were two of their best defensive players. And then Jalen Johnson and
Matt
Kyle
Farrell's
Fuller
just
might
not
be
a
the
thing
most
anymore.
underrated cornerback duo in the league.
Probably.
Jalen Johnson's actually really good. He's 4th in the league in passes defended. And I mean, Roquan Smith is looking like he could be the best middle linebacker in a couple of years. He's, I think, 3rd in the league in tackles.
Yeah, he's been good for a long
They've
time.
drafted
since he's
really
come in.
well, and that defense is looking like it's going to be good for good amount of time, especially with Khalil Mack still there.
Yep.
He's still a dominant force. I think that's my and then they're winning games, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how they do it. It matters if you win.
They almost beat the Saints last week too.
That's true.
It took the Saints like a very last
The
time field
Saints
goal.
they didn't have Michael
You're
Thomas.
the one arguing they have
didn't
better receivers than
Emmanuel
Tampa
Sanders.
Bay Buccaneers. I don't want to hear anything
But they
about
were
this.
injured. They were injured.
No.
It's so, Michael Thomas is also injured. Like,
Okay.
you can't keep like. Are you saying the 49ers was a good win yesterday?
No.
Okay,
I literally
good.
said that at the beginning of the show.
Like, you can't just bring up Michael Thomas's injury. Like, everybody deals with injuries.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
it's
Everybody
one
does.
receiver. You know what? If your offense is one receiver, then you're not a good offense. If you have,
Green Bay Packers.
yeah, I don't think they're good offense. I think they're Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones show.
That's just false because Aaron Rodgers makes everybody around him better.
You got everybody on the Packers wide receivers
why does
Adams.
Jimmy
suck.
Graham-
Don't you sleep on Equinemius St. Brown, Kyle.
God, I love Equinemius St.
Don't you
Brown,
sleep-
but he isn't good.
Robert Tonyan had a 3-touchdown game against Atlanta.
Oh, who cares? Like, you just made fun of the Bears for beating the Falcons. and now you're bringing up Robert Tonyan?
because the Falcons had a 99.9% chance of winning.
Mika, it's just if they won the game, okay?
I'm not. You know how I feel about the Chicago Bears. That's why you know how I feel about them. I think they're always.
But I
gonna
think you should be embarrassed that Mitchell Trubisky had a better record than Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was healthy the whole year.
Oh, that's correct.
That's what you should be embarrassed about.
Why would I
Good
be
point.
embarrassed? Because the Packers aren't known for a double doink.
You lost to the 2-14 Cardinals.
At
That
home.
was 1 year. Oh my God. That was not the year we got Jair. No, that was the year after we got Jair. We got Rashawn
Whatever.
Gary
Let's
out
get
of
back to the whatever.
All right, Kyle, go ahead.
For what? Most surprising team?
Yeah.
All right, most surprising
Don't say
team.
Chicago because I'll get mad again.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
mean, let's be
Go ahead.
realistic. Everybody thought the Ravens were going to walk over that division like they did last year. Pittsburgh's undefeated. What are they? 7-8-0? Is that how many? Yeah.
No, 7.
I predicted the Ravens to go 9-7 this year. I said Lamar Jackson was going to have a big.
I agree. Lamar Jackson's overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
4 turnovers against the Steelers isn't going to get you anywhere.
no, it won't. And all right, you guys ready for the most disappointing team?
New England Patriots.
The New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, they're 2-5. That's all you have to say about them, really.
I waited so long
I
for
knew.
this.
Seriously, I am such a. Yeah, you did wait a long
I
time for
waited
it.
so long for this.
Just so
man.
sick and tired of Cam Newton consistently showing us that he can't be a good franchise quarterback.
Can I finish my point? Because seriously, I knew they wouldn't be as good this year. I thought they'd go 9-7, maybe 10-6. I didn't see them being 2-5. Seriously,
I did.
Seriously, the Patriots wide receivers, they're horrible. All of them suck. Except
Trade for Isaiah Ford, who I've never even heard of before.
I've never heard of that guy. But who is Isaiah Ford? Who is he?
Oh
We
my
traded
God.
a 7th-round pick for a 7th-round pick. Congratulations. Our tight ends, they suck too.
How many catches have they had this year, Kyle?
I think he had 2 last week.
No, goose egg.
No, I thought Izzo had a catch last week.
He also had a drop. I remember reading his stats. He gave up 3 run pressures, everything. He sucks. He's terrible. And then you have the defense too. We can all agree they have nothing at linebacker, right? They have one linebacker.
Jawan Bentley got injured last week in the game.
Jawan Bentley sucks and blows.
Exactly. We
He
had
is
0
horrible.
linebackers to end that game against the Bills.
Well, even when we've only had one linebacker this whole year. Bentley
He could not
sucks.
tackle Zach Moss at all. He was
He's
he did a
horrible.
somersault over his back once.
He just goes and runs around everywhere, misses a million tackles. Something the Patriots were never even known of doing was missing tackles a while ago. We have no front 7 except Lawrence Guy, and they just. Bill Belichick wanted this too. He wanted it without Tom Brady. He wanted to prove that he could coach his way to having a good team. That's not working out too well for him right now.
The McCourty brothers don't look the same. They're also 31 or 32.
That game Devin McCourty played last week against the Bills may have been the worst game of his career.
He's old.
He was pathetic.
Gilmore was injured actually, so
Well, Gilmore, even when he's playing, looks checked out. He hasn't really been the same guy as he was last year.
and then
Anyway.
it doesn't help when you lose Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower, the leaders or one of the leaders of your team.
I know, but what's Belichick always been known for? It's getting the best out of the bad players.
Yeah.
I know we didn't
the
have
best that the
Hightower.
bad players can get, and that shows how really talentless we are.
I want to remind you this. You know, we brought up Anton Winfield Jr. You know who we drafted instead of him? We drafted a D2 safety. We drafted a D2 safety over Anton Winfield Jr.
Do you think Belichick is watching you right now,
I
Kyle?
hope he is, because you know what? That draft pick sucked.
Belichick, if you're watching us, please come on the show. We'd love you
Can
here.
you at least draft a D1 safety that people know?
right.
If people knew Anton Winfield, who's Kyle Duggar? He's a D2 safety. Like, give me a break. He sucks at drafting. I mean, really, it's a freaking joke the way he drafts.
Yeah.
He's a really hit or miss. Like
He's
it's
just
boom or
miss.
bust.
That's it. He's just
Michael Onwenu
miss.
might be the best offensive lineman in the draft.
Who?
Michael Onwenu, he might have been the best offensive lineman.
But even that was lucky. It was a 6th-round pick. He's throwing crap against the wall and hoping it sticks. That's all it is.
All right, well, you guys definitely are curious who I think is the most surprising and most disappointing team. Most surprising. It's the Arizona Cardinals. It definitely is the Arizona Cardinals because, well, I mean, people had expectations for them, but like, they're 5-2. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. That's the only team that's beaten that Seattle Seahawks team, and I think they have a good defense. Isaiah Simmons isn't bad. Pat Peterson is a little old, but they still have Chandler Jones. And don't get me started on that offense. That offense is really good. Kyler Murray is definitely one of the best QBs in football right now. Hopkins, Kenyon Drake.
I think he's the best young quarterback.
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
league.
he's a bit overrated.
He's not over.
He's not
I don't
overrated.
count.
He's underrated.
He's a 13-8 touchdown interception ratio.
He's underrated, Ayush. He's not overrated.
He has rushing touchdowns too.
Yeah, but 13-8 is not good.
Ayush, have you seen his size? People were giving him comments for being the shortest quarterback ever, and they're going to say
He's
you're
only
never going to
1
make
inch
an
shorter
NFL.
than Russell Wilson.
Okay, but he was drafted. He was the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Just so was Jamarcus Russell, like 6'8". It's like they didn't get him anything. So okay, but most disappointing team. I'm surprised you guys picked the Patriots and the Cowboys. 2 good picks, but look at it. Cowboys. Dak is injured. They have an awful defensive
weren't going
coordinator.
anywhere
I know,
with
but they
Dak.
have an awful defensive coordinator. They don't have a system. Kyle said the Patriots. I mean, Dr. Hightower opted out. I mean, they've dealt with a lot of injuries.
Okay, well, even with the Patriots opting out, like they have no fat guys on the D-line. All they do is stand there with their hands in their pants.
Let me finish my point. My point is, a team that made the NFC divisional round last year, they beat the Saints in New Orleans, and they have 2 wins to make up for it. 2 wins. Who's injured on that team? Nobody. They lost Stephon Diggs, and Justin Jefferson's actually not bad. Talking, of course, about the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins, Mr. $84 million man, can get out of Minnesota. Dalvin Cook.
Well, to be fair, Dalvin Cook has been injured for 2 games, and then he got injured during the middle of one another. So that's
okay, well, that's one injury. You still have Adam Thielen. You have Justin Jackson. That team pretty much is the same team as it was last year.
No, it's not. They lost half their O-line. They lost Linval Joseph. They lost Everson Griffin.
Yeah, we
they
went
lost
over this the
Xavier
first
Rhodes.
week. They've
I'm
lost
just saying,
everything.
I think
Anthony Barr.
that team definitely had a lot of hype going into the season. Would you agree with that? People were saying that was going to be between them and Green Bay for the NFC North Division. You can agree with that.
True, but I thought it was a one-man race all the way at Green Bay.
That's fair. Hey, I'm not going to argue with that. I just think that Minnesota's definitely been really, really disappointing this week. I mean, just overall.
Well, they definitely have. They suck.
All right, and just a new thing that we're going to do before we end the show, some quick Sunday predictions, football predictions, something new. So I'm just going to give you a couple key games, and I want to hear what you guys say. If it was a normal year, I would say Pittsburgh versus Dallas, but Sunday Night Football. Kyle?
Buccaneers.
Ayush?
Is it in Tampa?
Yeah.
I'll pick the Bucks.
We all know what Mika's going to go.
Next question.
Saints Bobo.
How about Seattle versus Buffalo? In Buffalo.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. Josh Allen's going to hand them that game.
Josh Allen sucks.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Josh Allen was the most overrated quarterback in the
Yes,
first 4
by
years.
far the most overrated.
He was an MVP candidate.
Overrated in all capital
I
letters.
was watching
Overrated.
with the Raiders game, he had Diggs wide open for a touchdown, throws it 30 yards to the left, and Diggs gets a pass.
Josh Allen was trying to hand the Patriots the game last week.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. He sucks
Cam
and
Newton was
blows.
better at handing the game away.
Oh, yeah, literally.
And another one that's interesting, very underrated, I would say, Chicago versus Tennessee, in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I have Chicago.
Really?
I think they pull it off.
Yeah,
Tennessee's
sucks for
gone
you,
to
Mika.
overtime with the Texans, and then they just lost to the Bengals. There's a very real chance that the Bears come in and win.
Derrick Henry will run wild.
I agree. Who's
gonna be fun to
going
see
to
Khalil
stop
Mack.
Derrick
Fantasy
Henry?
man, Derrick
It's
Henry.
funny to see Khalil Mack and Derrick Henry. So
No, it's
that should be
not.
fun.
Derrick Henry's going to destroy that team. Plus, Tennessee just got humiliated by Cincinnati last week. They're going to go and bounce back. They're not. Mike Vrabel is not the type of person to be like, you guys lost one game. Let's go see what happens. Let's just go 9-7 and see what happens. Plus, they have to after this game, they have a Thursday night matchup against the Colts for first place in that division.
Okay.
They need this win.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think those are the big. Unless you guys want to talk about the Jets and Patriots.
Oh God.
I got the Jets.
Well, no, I don't know. Knowing the Patriots, they'll probably stand there the entire time with their hands in their pants and letting the Jets stay in the game.
Patriots should win this game easily.
Part of me wants them to lose for spite.
No, I want the Jets to go in 16 really bad. I think it'd be funny. I think they should bring back Rex Ryan as their head coach.
Again, we need more fat guys in the D line. We're getting run over.
Well, you guys didn't do anything in the trade deadline.
Nope, we need more fat guys.
All right. Well, that concludes episode 7 of Unpopular Opinion. Next week, we will definitely be having special guests on the show. Hopefully a college football show. Hopefully a very special guest on the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. As always, info@dsctv.com. Right up here. Kyle, Ayush, thank you for being on the show. I'm Mika Gat. Thank you guys for watching the show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday, everybody.